All right, let's talk about something that gives a lot of drivers a major headache, that dreaded check engine light. And specifically, we're going to tackle one of the most common culprits, code P0101. If that's what you're seeing, stick around, because we're going to turn that confusion into a simple plan of attack.
So, there it is. You've got your scanner plugged in and it's staring back at you, P0101. Your first thought might be, oh no, what's this going to cost me? But hold on, we're going to walk through exactly what this means and what you can do about it.
And here's the good news right up front. Don't worry, this is an incredibly common code, and believe it or not, the fix is often surprisingly simple, and it's probably something you can handle right in your own driveway. So, let's get started.
Okay, first things first. Before we start fixing anything, let's decode what P0101 is actually all about. What is your car trying to tell you?
The official definition sounds a bit, well, technical. Mass airflow A, circuit range/performance problem. All that really means is this: your engine's main computer is listening to the mass airflow sensor, and the numbers it's getting back just don't make any sense for what the engine is doing. The data is out of whack.
So, at the heart of all this is that mass airflow sensor, or MAF for short. It's a small but mighty part, usually right there on your air intake tube, just after the air filter. Its one job in life is to measure the precise amount, the mass, of air getting sucked into the engine.
You know, a really simple way to picture it is to think of the MAF sensor as your engine's personal trainer. It's standing there counting and measuring every single breath the engine takes. This is critical for getting the air and fuel mixture just right. And when that trainer miscounts, the whole system gets confused.
So aside from that annoying light on your dash, what are some of the other signs that your MAF sensor might be on the fritz? Let's go through the list and see if any of this sounds familiar.
If your car feels like it's hesitating, or if it has a really rough, shaky idle, that's a big clue. Maybe it feels sluggish and just doesn't have any get up and go when you accelerate. You might also notice you're visiting the gas station a lot more often. Or, in really obvious cases, you could even see some black smoke puffing out the exhaust. That's a dead giveaway the engine is running way too rich because of a bad air reading. Okay, so the code and the symptoms are adding up. Now for the fun part. Let's get into your action plan. This is your step-by-step guide to nailing this problem.
We're going to start with the easiest and most common fixes first, always. We're talking about things like a dirty air filter, a dirty MAF sensor, or maybe just a loose wire. The simple stuff often solves it. Step 1, and this is the absolute easiest place to start, pop the hood and check your engine's air filter. If that thing is totally clogged with dirt and debris, it's essentially choking your engine. That restricted airflow is more than enough to confuse the MAF sensor and trigger the code.
All right, step 2 is another easy visual check. Find the MAF sensor and take a close look at the electrical connector plugged into it. Is it snapped in all the way? Give it a gentle wiggle. Do you see any wires that look frayed or damaged? How about any of that green, crusty-looking corrosion on the pins? A bad connection can cause the exact same problem as a bad sensor.
Now for step 3, and honestly, this is the magic bullet probably 80% of the time: cleaning the sensor. Over thousands of miles, a very fine film of dirt and oil can get baked onto the sensor's tiny, delicate internal wires, and that's all it takes to throw off the readings.
And this is absolutely critical. I can't say this enough. You must use a cleaner specifically made for mass airflow sensors. It's designed to dissolve all that grime without leaving any residue behind. Anything else can and probably will destroy the sensor.
And here's exactly why that's so important. Stuff like brake cleaner or carb cleaner is way too aggressive. It will leave a film or even melt the sensitive plastics and coatings on the sensor. You have to stick with the dedicated MAF cleaner. It's designed to do its job and then evaporate completely, leaving nothing behind.
Okay, once you've cleaned it and let it air dry completely, go ahead and put it back in and reconnect everything. Then grab your scan tool and clear the code from the car's memory. The last step is the best part. Take it for a test drive and make sure that pesky light stays off for good. But what if you do all that? You go for a drive and that light pops right back on. Ugh, I know, it's frustrating. But don't give up. It just means we need to look at a few of the less common causes. So if cleaning didn't work, it's possible the sensor itself has just plain failed and needs to be replaced. Other culprits could be a vacuum leak somewhere. That means unmeasured air is getting into the engine. Or you could even have a blockage in your exhaust, like a clogged catalytic converter. A vacuum leak is just a crack in a hose or a bad gasket that lets air sneak into the engine after the MAF sensor. The computer never sees this air, so it messes up all its calculations.
Finding these can be really tricky, and this is where a mechanic's smoke machine can be a lifesaver.
So, the next time you're faced with a P0101 code, just remember this action plan. Start simple. You've got to ask yourself, could a 10-minute job with a can of cleaner end up saving you a costly trip to the mechanic? It absolutely could.